Hello there people, this is Bruce or nintenbruce here, back again with another deck recipe for Yu-Gi-Oh! The card game. Now this does run the 2012 September ban list, so feel free to use it as long as it hasn't changed by the time you watch this video. So, we are going to focus on the Batterymen. I absolutely love these cards. Completely different, fun to play, and can give decent decks a run for their money depending how you're playing it basically. So, with that, I'm going to go through the usual stuff, the monsters, then the spells, then the traps, then cover a few combos along the way. So, starting off, 3 Batterymen AA. If you're running a decent Batteryman deck, you have to run 3 of them. You can't run 2, and you especially can't run 1. The effect of them, they gain 1000 attack if they're all in face-up attack mode, and that's times the amount of Batteryman AA up on the field. So remember, even if you've got 1, that's 1000 attack. Or if they're all in face-up defence, then they gain an extra 1000 defence for each Batteryman AA face-up in defence mode. So what that does mean is if you've got 2 in attack and 1 in defence, then all the attack is 0 and all the defence is 0. So remember that. 3 Batterymen AAA. Now they are some interesting cards. So yes, 0 attack, 0 defence, but when normal summoned or flipped face up, you can special another one from the hand or graveyard. So remember, you can't search from the deck, so try and get these in the grave as soon as possible, depending on your play anyway. And they are just purely there for either XYZing or for short circuit, which I'll show you a little later on. 2 Batteryman Fuel Cell. I say at least 2 is fine. You could end up with 3, but you don't want too many tributes, so be careful. Being a tribute monster, the attack and defence is rubbish, but it's its other effect of either having 2 Batterymen on the field already, you can special summon it, just like that, which is lovely, as well as the other effect where tribute any other Batteryman monster, then you can return one of your opponent's cards back to the owner's hand. So if they gain control of your monster, or if there's a troublesome spell or trap or monster on the field on their side, then yeah, just tribute 1, and that's it. Well, most of the time it'll be an open field, so definitely run at least 2 of these. 3 Batteryman Charger. These are beautiful cards as well. Yes, they require a tribute, but the effect is it pulls out another Batteryman monster from the deck, as long as it's not another Batteryman Charger. So remember, that can be a fuel cell that you grab out as well. And for each Thunder type on the field, it gains an extra 300 attack. So including itself, that's 2100, and when you get the extra special summon out, that's 2400. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. 1 Batteryman D. Not the most amazing card, but it's there at least. So your opponent cannot select a Thunder type monster you control as an attack target, except Batteryman D. Yeah, that's about it really. You could even sub it for a Thunder King Ryo, which is nice as well. In fact, why have I got this in here? Yeah, I don't like it. Anyway, 3 Batteryman Micro Cells. So with these, once they're flipped face up, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Batteryman monster from your deck, except another Micro Cell. So that's either Batteryman AAA, except remember you don't get its other effect because it's a special summon, Batteryman AA, and when it's destroyed by battle as well, you can draw a card, as long as it's sent to the graveyard. So definitely run 3 of these. Beautiful, beautiful cards. They can set you up nicely as well for short circuit, which again I'll show you later. 2 Batteryman Industrial Strength. 3 is way too many, and the cost can be heavy occasionally, so it's usually better to draw into this later game. But its effects, well, rather its summoning condition, you have to remove 2 Batterymen monster from the graveyard first, and besides it being a 2600 beat stick, you can remove another Thunder type monster. Remember, it doesn't have to be Batteryman, so that could be a Thunder King Ryo again, from the graveyard to outplay, and then you select an opponent's monster and spell or trap card to destroy. So that effect is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The Cyber Dragon. 1 Honest, you have to run this. Look, everything in here is light apart from Sangan here, which you know how to use this by now. And 2 Shining Angel. I find 3 is a bit too many because of the amount of Batterymen I've got in here already. We're already at 22 monsters. And with that as well, you don't have to worry about pulling out all the Batteryman AA's out, and in a specific order rather, because you've got a lot of resurrection cards, which I'll show you shortly. So, on that front, the spells, Batteryman Charger, pay 500 life points, special summon a Batteryman monster from your graveyard. Any Batteryman. So that's Fuel Cell, Charger, anything you fancy, apart from Industrial Strength anyway. Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Mind Control, Monster Reborn, 1 MST, a Pot of Avarice. 1 Recycling Batteries can be funky, especially with Batteryman Treble A there. So add 2 Thunder type monsters with 1500 or less attack from your graveyard to your hand. What more is there to say really? So it's either that, or you can get Microcell. It's lovely, but only run 1 of those. 2 Short Circuits, 3 is a bit too many, and activate only if you control 3 or more face-up Batteryman monsters. Destroy all cards your opponent controls. What more do you need? Onto the traps. Mirror Force, portable battery pack, so select 2 Batteryman monsters from the graveyard and special summon them in attack position. And you don't have to worry about one monster being destroyed and the other one disappearing from that. It's just a case of when both monsters are destroyed, then this goes to the graveyard, or like Call It Haunted, if this is destroyed then fair enough, both of the monsters go to the graveyard. But with this, instantly gets 2 out on the field. All you need is 1 more summon to bring out a Short Circuit, and what you can usually do is get out a Fuel Cell and anything else, and then, you know, play it by there really. So do this at the end phase. It's so versatile, but you've got to make sure the Batterymen are in the graveyard, that's the thing. A Solemn Judgment, Torrential Tribute, only the 1 Black Horn of Heaven. I'm lucky enough to keep on drawing into it when I need to. But yeah, the last thing you want is XYZing happening against yourself. If you don't have the right setup, then you're not going to have a decent monster for ages, so I find this helps you out a lot. And then with the amount of continuous cards and back row that you'll probably be setting, 2 Starlight Roads, that'll protect your monsters as well with a big setup, from Mirror Forces, Torrential Tributes, Dark Holes. So that's why this is one of the few times I run 2 of these, which is brilliant. Oh, and you get to get out Stardust Dragon, fantastic. So, with that, moving on to the side deck. Now I've thought a bit about this one, so you know, hold on to your hats. 2 Inferno Reckless Summon. Now when people play Batteryman decks, I find it can be a disadvantage if you use these straight away, because if you're up against an opponent's deck which runs a lot of duplicates, then you could end up in trouble. If you know you're up, say, against a Chaos deck or something of that sort of calibre where there's individual cards like Dark Arm Dragon, an XYZ monster, etc, etc, then this is perfect. So when you special summon a monster with an attack of 1500 points or less, so be that 1 Batteryman AA or a Batteryman Treble A, then activate it. Your opponent selects a card that they hold face up, a monster rather, so that's going to be their one thing or something they can't special summon any more of, and you just get tons of these from the hand, deck or graveyard. Fantastic. And then do whatever you fancy, XYZs on them, or have 3 of these at 3000 attack. It's fantastic. So you'd usually change into this into the second round if you know you're safe. If you know your opponent's being a bit of a pain in the backside with defense monsters, then I don't know how you pronounce that, Maku, the Magical Mist. Target a Summoned Skull, which you don't have, or a face-up Thunder type monster you control. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with defense less than or equal to the attack of that monster. So if you have this on 3000, or when you special summon these, there's not going to be a lot with 2100 defense. So, you know, pick your time wisely with it, because you can't conduct your battle phase if you use it. An MST, another Black Horn of Heaven, 2 Bottomless, Mind Crush if you know your opponent's got one of those decks where they're pulling things to their hand, Mirror Force, Return from a Different Dimension, 2 Solemn Warning, and a Torrential Tribute. Again, the side deck can be messed about with, but I find these helpful straight from the off. That and a Return from a Different Dimension. Then extra deck, 2 Stardust Dragon, and then a ton of XYZs. Simple as really. Even if you get given your opponent's Synchro monster, more than likely you're going to be able to use it as an XYZ summon. So Levier, Grenosaurus, 3 Zen mains, because the amount of 3 stars you got in here. Well, I say the amount, the Batterymen you've got anyway, regardless. Gemini Pearl, Utopia, Utopia Ray, Black Ship of Corn, Shockmaster, Shark Drake, he can be quite handy. Photon and Steel Swarm Roach. Actually, I didn't pronounce that properly, obviously. Papilloperative. How about that? So yeah, again, fun deck this, so give it a whirl, let me know what you think, and obviously give us a good old thumbs up if you like what you see, /saw, and pop your comments in the section below. Again, let me know your play style, or if you play your Batteryman a different way. I find this is quite solid, which is nice. So, until next time, you guys take care, and I will see you again soon.